Yo, what up, everybody? It's been a bit. What's up, Twitch? What's up, YouTube? How's everybody? What's up, Size? How you doing? What's up, Burba? Overton, greetings from Germany this time. Jesus, world traveler. Hey, Mom. What's up, Dubsticks? How you doing? IQ, good to see you. Diggs, walking into a meeting. Hopefully it goes well for you, man. What's up, Sarv? How you doing, buddy? How's everyone? Oh boy. Leaving for Austria, then finally heading back. Damn, dude, that's crazy. What's up, Notorious? How you doing, man? Chat, peep the new hoodie. How do you guys feel? I'm wearing pink, by the way. It's kind of weird, but I think the hoodie's dope, so we bought it. 3 more days and the new job. Nice. First time being borderline drunk and I'm feeling it. Well, try to be safe, man. So we're listening while I work out in this brutal heat. Yeah, where are you from, Notorious? Welcome to stream, by the way, man. Good to have you. Sorry, hopefully good Texas. Oh yeah, it's hot as fuck. Good luck. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's weekend? Also, I'm gonna need your guys' Steam Summer Sale recommendations. A bunch of my buddies picked up Deep Rock Galactic. 20 minutes from Worlds. Ouch. Oof. That is very convenient, man. Almost bought a katana today. You are drunk. Jesus. Haven't looked at the Summer Sale outside of ACC DLC. That's fair. The is there an easy way to see your wish list? Where do you see your wish list? Oh, there it is. I have 18 games on my wish list. Jeez. Okay. Deep Rock Galactic is in season 5. I think that's a good pick. Bloons TD6 is literally $1.39. I think that's an easy choice. Smite 2, Dragonborn looks dope when that comes out. Yeah, as of right now, it's probably Deep Rock Galactic and Bloons TD6. I don't think I'm gonna get the South Park game. Deep Rock Galactic. I have that game and I love it. Yeah, I have some friends that just picked it up, and apparently it's got like a decent amount of content to play, but it's like it's 67% off. So like to be 2/3 the price of what it was, it's $10. It's not bad. It's just repetitive. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that one. My group all picked up Civ 6. That's a good shout. Civ 6 is a good choice. Party Animals is $14, 30% off. It's not too bad. Civ 6 is $3. Holy shit. I don't really play Civ. But the fact that Civ 6 is $3 is kind of insane. It's 95%. That's absurd. Holy shit. It's free on PS5. Well, all right. $3 for Civ is actually pretty crazy. That'd be one to get everybody online, like once a week to play. That'd be kind of cool. First Descendant. I can't get into First Descendant. I play the alpha, but the issue I have is that game is so heavily pay to win. I can't do it. It's like even worse than Warframe, dude. It's like, hey, you want to build this character. It's 30 hours or $15. What do you want to do? Yeah. Enshrouded? I have Enshrouded. Enshrouded's dope. Good shout. Enshrouded actually surprised me with how big it is. I was genuinely surprised, but when I like started exploring, I was like, God damn. Are you coming to Worlds? I don't know, man. Like, the difficulty is like, I want to go to Worlds, and I think there's some really cool opportunities I could have, but like, the difficulty is I've been to every land but 3. I didn't go to Boston. I didn't go to, obviously, London this past time, and I couldn't go to Stockholm, but I've been to every single one other than that. And the difficulty with me attending is like, it is better for me to stay home and do a watch party or anything else like that, financially. So unless I'm being compensated to go, like, we're going to be releasing hopefully a documentary here soon that we shot in Copenhagen, which is fantastic. I watched the whole thing. It is amazing. But financially, unless I am being paid to be there, like an organization is like, hey, we want you to do this thing. We'll cover your flight, your hotel, your room board, all that kind of stuff. Also, we're going to pay you for your time to be there, which is quite the investment. It's tough for me to justifiably go. Now, if I have activations there, like, hey, you can stream from there. Hey, you can, you know, do this tournament that's going on, or you know, something like that. Then it's so expensive to go, and with the current state of where esports is, it is really tough for me to be like, yep, that's a good idea. So I would love to come and meet you guys. I would love to come and say what's up, but it is not financially intelligent for me to spend more money to go to a thing and remove myself from other things I could do. And like, you guys have been more than generous to me and like, yo, start a donation goal for, you know, flights to that. And it's like, even still, it like just going isn't the issue, you know? And plus, I'd feel terrible just taking money from you guys like that. It wouldn't feel good. I'd have to find a way to, like, dedicate time to spend with people going. So, yeah. It's just a tough balance. One of the few people I didn't meet up with last time. Notorious. What's crazy about that is I did a meet and greet for a half hour. That went for 3 hours. You can ask Sarv and some of the mods in chat that were there. They did 2 full laps around the arena, and they saw me move 10 feet. They're like, I thought you were going to go back to the VIP section and watch matches. I'm like, I haven't moved. I can't. Yeah, they were doing hot laps, and I was trickling. And it was such a humbling experience. It was fantastic to meet, and I took as much time as I could meeting and talking with everybody. But that's also because it's like, I know for a lot of people, that's the only opportunity they'll get. So, hey, what up, Tragic?
It is ooh la la.
Let's go, Zalas.
Wow.
90 months.
Yo, some love in chat for Zalis. 90 months, by the way. Tier 3 sub as well. Appreciate you, buddy. That's a long fucking time. It's crazy, dude. I want to get Baldur's Gate 3, but it's not a big enough sale. Think about how much time you'll put into Baldur's Gate 3, and I think you can justify it. Had a lot of everyone had a great time. Well, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear it. What's up, Phoenix? Hey, dude, man. Also, that Raging Wolf helm icon is dope. Off to start the sleep. Fuck yeah, Zalis. There you go. What? How long is your session today, Zalis? What's up, Fabled? Hey, dude, man. Chat, I am a little sick. Just as a heads up, so I don't know how long we'll go today, but we'll chip away at what we can. We got to get some videos and stuff going. So, Terra 5 for tomorrow. Why is that? What's tomorrow? Let me pull up my roster doc. We've got like 3 or 4 things we're working on, chat. A lot of the crew from the Esports RL League that I'm in came, and we had about 200. That's fucking great. That's so cool, dude. What a vibe. Also, that's like a small cult. What are you guys doing with all of that then? What'd you think about the major? Great matches. Really cool storylines. Event seemed like it ran relatively okay. What else? Our league has a couple thousand. That's crazy, dude. That's super cool. You know, I was interested in coaching session. Do you want me to DM you in Discord about more details and stuff? Tragic. I just got to think of like pricing wise to make it worthwhile. And if I do it through a third-party website or if I just do it directly. Realistically, I should make a Discord channel for coaching, for like coaching inquiries, and then leave a document in there for people to sign up on. The travel group can go into Dungeon and I'm gym terrified for my friend group. Why is that worrisome? Is there something about that area that you have to be careful of, or what? Like I know it's one of the like first concentration camps, right? Yo, Fable, appreciate the bits, man. Thanks, dude. G2 did awesome. Can't believe they won. Yeah, crazy stuff, man. I think matchup wise, they pair really well against Falcons too. I think they probably would have been a bit more competitive against mates, but Orbiton, if that's the case, man, it's the same concept of like, just make it known that it makes you uncomfortable, and hopefully they respect that. You know, just be like, guys, like, not the time, not the place, you know. Yeah, the major was cool, man. Major was good. We watched like 30 some hours of it, so we were definitely busy. How much can I buy that jacket off you right now? You talking this? You talking my hoodie? 10 grand. It's an exorbitant price because I don't want to give it up. But if you pay for it, fine. You should see the back too. The back has a bunch of faces like this on it. Pretty dope. And the fact that I just got it doesn't mean I want to give it away. You can probably buy it online too. Let me see if they have it. Welch, let me see if they have it online, and if they do, I'll link it to you, man. I don't want to see the back and the price go up. Fair. Let me see if they have it online, and if they do, then I'll link it to you, man. I assume they will, because it looks like their collection is pretty solid. Want to play Rocket League? Not at the moment, Mark. Appreciate the offer though, man. Surprisingly enough, they don't have it online. Ooh, I picked a goodie then. The other thing I was gonna buy, they do have online, but it does not. Oh, they do. They do. They do have it. If you would like me to link it to you, Welch, I can. But this is the back of it, just so I don't have to turn around. This is what the back looks like. I'll give you 100 grand. Are we talking in USD or are we talking in like rupees or something? Yeah, this is what the back looks like. Got like a bunch of different faces and stuff too. It's dope though. That's a good show, though, Zealous. That's dope. Alluvio's a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Carcosa's really good. Archspire's dope. The Aborted's really solid, too. Hope you like chocolate, caramel, and crisp rice. What? The design style is called Betartanu. Betartanu, I think is how it's said. But Betart or Betartanu, something like that. But as a follow-up question to my last question on if you thought G2 had a chance to win Worlds before the major, do you think changed after the major, or they still have a likely chance to win? So Tragic, I said going into the major that they're capable, like they're fully capable. But I've always believed that there's always like that EU team that just tends to have an under 100 grand bar. God damn it. Get out of here, Phoenix. I do like candy though. Not my genres, but would go 100% see them. Yeah, I wouldn't say they'd be my go-tos, but like Carcosa puts on a pretty good show. Archspire I've seen as well. I will say though, chat, so if you guys don't know, I was out of town this past weekend, hence not streaming or anything. We went to the Rockies, we went to Estes Lake, we went to the Stanley Hotel where they shot The Shining. We went and saw Odessa, which like I've seen over 300-400 bands live. Like I've seen a lot of bands. It's all I did early college. And Odessa easily puts on like top 3 production I have ever seen. What's a 100 grand bar? It's a type of candy. It's pretty good though. Most people refer to them just as 100 grand, but it's what's it? Caramel and like crisp rice. It's like a. Have you ever had Star Crunch? Think less crunch, more caramel. Sounds amazing. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Yeah, we went hiking. We went to Estes Lakes, or Estes Park. We did the Emerald Lake trip. If you guys don't follow my Instagram, go do it. It makes it really easy to pay attention. If I can show you some photos. I took way too many pictures. And then we also went to Meow Wolf. Like the pictures will never do it justice. Like just unbelievable scenery. Used to be a truck driver, got to see the majority of the US for free. Hell yeah, man. Let me see. So what is it? Emerald Lake is it's like a 3-ish mile for Maroon Bells. I didn't. We did Emerald Lake, and then we also did Lake Dillon, I think was the other one that we did, which was a little easy one. And I'll show you photos. Yeah, check out my social media. I'll have posts for it. Not yet, Brandon. We're just kind of catching up with everybody because I've been gone for a few days. We'll be going over to them soon, though. Yeah, so Emerald Lake is actually a set of 3 lakes that you climb up and then you slowly elevate into. And then eventually when you get to the top... So this is I think the first or second lake. Like this is Dream Lake. But like just unbelievable. Eventually, I'll have to pull up the photos on not my phone because you guys are obviously seeing them in a very ugly way. But eventually, when you get to the top, it then opens up. But you get to the top and then it opens up into like a big basin. There's like waterfalls up in the mountains and shit. It's crazy. Appreciate seeing things, man. So we did that. And then we went to the Odessa concert and the Stanley Hotel. I didn't take any pictures of the Stanley Hotel because I was dealing with a really bad migraine personally. How cold was the water? Extremely. It was very cold. Yeah, the Odessa concert was fucking nuts. 50, I think it was like 50 some thou. Yeah, the Odessa concert was incredible. It was super fucking cool. Yeah, they filled the entire bowl. It was nuts. Let me see if I can show you guys on my Instagram. I didn't post anything today. This is West Coast. Yeah, this is the Rockies. This is Colorado. So yeah, this is that one mountain picture that I was showing you guys where it opens up. This is like a waterfall and stuff back in the mountains and stuff. This is the Odessa concert, which was crazy. What genre of music do they do? You haven't heard of Odessa? Odessa's EDM, but like I'll play my favorite song by them. If I can remember it. I don't think my favorite Odessa song. I mean, they're EDM, so like the tour is called The Last Goodbye. Yeah, there was definitely probably a lot of drugs going on there, especially in Colorado. But they put a ton of effort into production and like unbelievable, dude. Between fireworks and confetti and the light show, they bring out like a live marching band. They've got like a full orchestra quartet. They've got trombone players. They've got like it is insane, but it's a vibe. Where was the venue? It was in Boulder at the football stadium. Folsom, I think is what it's called. Folsom. Yeah, Folsom. Folsom Field. At the University of Colorado, which is a really, really pretty university. Like here. Let me show you our view. This is Folsom Field. What's up, Froke? How you doing? So, like, we were sitting not here, but like a few more down. So, like, you're talking stage-wise. Let me see if I can find a different angle. So, you can't really tell, but like our seats were like here. We were like right here. This was all stage, as you can tell. So like this is all the stage, and then behind the stage you could see a little bit of this, which is where they shot the fireworks from. But like we were like, if this is the stage, we were like right here. And then like your background is just mountains. Like it is gorgeous. So what you're saying, Lawler, is you don't need drugs to appreciate good entertainment? True. Very, very true. Esports World Cup is happening? Yeah. Yeah, they got opening ceremonies and stuff going. But yeah, so we did that. And then we went to what's called like, I think like Dillon Lake, something like that, or something Dillon. And that was really pretty. And then it started to thunder. Let's see if I can find the cool photo. And then when we yeah, Dillon's a really cool city. And then when we left, we went down and got like a tiki bar thing. Oh, you guys probably can't see that shit. Just really gorgeous views. And then the last day we went to Meow Wolf. Last day we went to Meow Wolf, which is like a massive art exhibit. Crazy fucking... I don't know how those people think that shit up. Yeah. I was in Crusty Butte. Dude, so I was in... The first time I went to Colorado, we took a road trip. And I went to Gunnison. And we went to Crusty Butte. Crusty Butte's beautiful. Yeah, good old Crusty Butte. Where's it being streamed? I have no idea, Daily. I have no clue. Did you do wakeboarding, tubing? No, we did a lot of hiking though. Looks like the former LG squad has signed up for Shift Summer League as well. Yeah, that's 100% true. I'm in Phoenix. I'm in Wisconsin / Minnesota, so we don't really have that either. You've never seen Headhunters live? They're sick. I've heard really good things about Headhunters. I'm not... Krusty Butt feels like a Lord of the Rings set. Yeah, we're trying to go see like Game of Thrones set stuff in Croatia and stuff would be cool. Yeah, there's a gentleman in the RL scene named VK Salem. What do you think of his tweets? I put out a tweet and I said, and I quote, Can't wait for Blast to change the region restrictions so I never have to hear about Mobular or these stupid ass takes ever again. So it's kind of where I'm at with things. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how that's your mentality. Like, humble yourself, man. Like, I don't know how someone who couldn't make it in today's day and age in EU feels like it's a good idea to, like, I just don't get the mentality. Tragic, what genre? New Zealand's beautiful. I've heard really good things about New Zealand and just Australia in general, other than like everything wants to fucking kill you. But all right, let's talk some RLCS roster stuff. We've been looking at some of these signups here for team signups, and there's been some interesting ones that are early rumors. I kind of want to do just conversations as well where gentlemates, I want a general news section, which I guess we can do here. Yeah, Idios and gentlemates reject invitation to shift summer league. Let's do this actually. Let's move you down. Let's do general news. Section's probably gonna get long. Does this quality artist, like I said, say my name, Gallon's remix. I don't know if anyone knows that one, but yeah. I mean, Odessa's put out some really banger songs. I just can't think of my favorite song from them off the top of my head. But when it played, they played it when we were there, and I was like, fuck yeah. And they had the guy come out and sing it too. Hold on, let me listen to my videos. Naomi Wild. Higher Ground's really good. This song's really, really good. I love Higher Ground. Higher Ground's really good. Got a really good chorus too. Seeing this live with Naomi there was amazing. What's up, Exalt? How you, man? Did I seriously not take a video of it? What's that fucking song called? Why can't I think of the song? What's his name? Oh yeah, dude, this part was so fucking cool. Look at the graphics of this. Hold up. One sec. Check out the graphics that they used for the set. Some like Carnage, like Satan demon shit. Wait for it. So badass. Yeah, let me make it so you guys can hear it. Yeah, shit was a vibe. It was cool. Yeah, their whole set was so fucking cool. Now, if you guys do want to watch it, they have their final concert of the tour and they're live streaming it as well. So if you want to tune in and watch, you actually can, which I think is super cool. Excision Millennium is good. Bob Moses also played. If you guys don't know Bob Moses, he plays on this this stream quite a bit. This is Bob Moses. Not yet, nope. We're still going through it. Also, viewer, appreciate the follow, man. More of a, this is more of like a, you're just kind of cruising. Yeah, they played it. They played a good set. Hit me with it, a Welch. Anytime, man. Again, you guys know my typical music selection is heavy, but I listen to a little bit of everything. And like I'm always a sucker for being in like with working in production and on camera stuff. Getting to go and watch something of that magnitude of like production is just like, okay, this is dope. So yeah, it was really good. All right. Let me pull up the screen. Do you like MCR? Not really. I never really got into that phase. I went straight from like Good Charlotte and like Green Day and stuff to like Whitechapel. There was never like the 4 Year Strong or like Seosin or anything. I'd skip real hard. I never liked Screamo. I never liked emo. I never liked. It was a hard cut. It was like Good Charlotte, Green Day, and Brain Stew, and I was like, all right, dope. A little kind of punk, and then they're like, have you heard of Linkin Park? And I'm like, I'm gonna keep going that route, and then I deep dived and went into like As I Lay Dying, After the Burial, Shadows Fall, things like that, and then very quick it was like Beneath the Sky, Amon Amarth, Flesh God Apocalypse, Whitechapel, what are other crazy long Helldriver, like it went very deep end. Do you think it's weird that I changed my mind to go fishing yesterday? I get nervous when there's a lot of people watching me fish because they'll all make fun of me. Welch, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Welch, at the same time, think of it, I just went to a concert and I'm I'm a 32-year-old white male dancing. No one cares. Everybody is focusing on their own shit. Screamo, punk, new metal, metalcore, emo, and some rap and trap. Also some vibe here. Nothing wrong with that, man. I don't like screamo. Punk's not really my style. Don't like hardcore, but American new metal was is a big inspiration for the music I listen to today. Like rap, some trap here and there is good. Yeah, I mean, if you play good AO8s, it's hard not to like it. Yeah, I listen to pop, I listen to folk, listen to alternative, listen to EDM, listen to deathcore, metalcore, any type of core in between. But there was a few. There was a significantly older crowd, believe it or not. Obviously, there's a bunch of young ones, and there was some people there that are like, I don't like. This song's not as exciting, and it's just like, yeah, it's a vibe. Like it doesn't need to be like crazy dubstep drops every time. Trap metal, not my style, but I also don't like baby metal or anything like that. But all right, let's pull up this and pull some rocket info. We'll do it from bottom up, make it easy. Riddles, magic and cheese. Accept invite to Shift Summer League. Left-hand angler and Texas experienced anglers are almost always going to offer advice. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as going to the gym. Like, everybody who goes to the gym isn't going to give a shit. They're just proud of you for being there. Like, good on you for putting in effort and getting there. That's all that matters. Resolve accepts invites to Shift Summer League. SSG accepts invite to Shift Summer League. Endpoints.
It is ooh la la Lawler.
Hey, Shroom. Appreciate the prime sub, brother. Thanks for using it here instead of elsewhere. Greatly appreciate you, man. What's up, Dubsticks? How you doing, man? About to take a nap. I don't blame you, dude. Sounds like you're having a crazy time. I would play Pong with him, and the games would drag on forever because he only wanted to shoot where there was a beat drop. What's up, Clean? How you doing, man? Good, man. Getting back into it. Not the biggest LG fan, but I hope they do better in Summer League. Yeah, I think they're gonna have a tough go at it. We've got confirmation that Solary release Astral and Coach Batu. That is confirmed. That happened on the 1st of July. I forgot I added a date tab to keep everything in organization. OG Esports accepts invite into Shift Summer League. It was actually on the 30th. So who's JJ Rocks? This is the former Team 3 team. Former Team 3 known by JJ Rocks. We'll add that up here. JJ Rocks, former Team 3. Inherits league play slot from K Corp. in Shift Summer League. If Kona Worlds have an Airbnb lake house about an hour away from the arena, dude, that's crazy. That's gonna be a vibe though, and I appreciate the offer, but I can't be staying with random people. Nothing personal. I just Jersey, appreciate the follow, man. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you. Is no one picking up snowmen? There is literally no reason to pick up an there's no reason to pick up teams right now. It is financially stupid to pick up a team right now. The only reason you pick up a team is to secure the team long term, but even then is probably not a good idea. Any rumor you can pick up for a new third for energy? Yeah. Never been to Worlds. Is it worth it to go, or is it just better to watch stream? Tragic. My recommendation. I put out a video yesterday. My Q&A video I did yesterday. Someone asked that exact question. I would recommend going and watching it. Gen G has committed, right? Jobless. I'll consolidate these, by the way. Appreciate each other. JL LAN events is just different. Yes, sir. How you doing, Robert? Shopify Rebellion. When Shift Summer League? I don't know specifically. Will M80 break their curse is the real question. Nope. I don't think M80 is going to exist anymore. I think that team is done. Selfishly, I'll be completely transparent with you all. I would love the opportunity to coach Nas and Jorias. Starts the 9th. That'd be dope. Hopefully it starts in a week. That'd be sick. What's the trajectory of RLCS and prize pool decreases? I think RLCS is going to trend in a very good direction. Without breaking NDA, I can tell you guys I texted the head of Rocket League Esports with Epic today. I'm very excited for the future. Luna Galaxy also. Okay, and a rumor we've got C9 expected to bench Zanil and try out Kinsey. Trying out Kinsey in Shift Summer League. That was the 27th. We do have confirmation about Bravado changing up. Bravado had Twiz and Abdullah. That was the 27th as well. Hasn't that roster exist before? Kinsey, Lionblaze, and Percy on like PK? I think so. I think SG needs to make any roster moves. Let's call it what it is, chat. Talent wise, how do you get better than Gen G and G2 right now? Like, you've got two super teams in NA. Who would Space Station pick up to make them better? You either take a risk on a lesser known talent and maybe it works out, right? But that's the issue, right, Robert? Like, you're not going to see 2Piece leave Shopify. Why would he? Like, why would Rebellion let go their star player? I think Genji should pick up LJ for Chronic. I just don't see that happening. I don't think Genji gets rid of Chronic. If anything, they would get rid of Jack and keep it all American. But I just don't know if teams are willing to put in the money to make that happen. And I don't think Rebellion would be dumb to let him go. I just think it'd be a bad idea, right? Like, the only thing I see is Genji getting better. I see Genji being like, Ayo, let's bring in LJ. Let's give these guys what they want to play and be together, you know? I just don't see it happening. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, AJ, that situation's been kind of crazy. I'm also very surprised to see this one. I did not want to listen to this. No. I think Temper stepping away from competitive Rocket League is crazy. Well, I don't know if that would work even. Like, Chicago's an integral part of that team being successful. Edges with Gyro for SSL. Nice. Who's their third, Bigot? Why do you think AJG keeps getting dropped? I don't know. Missed. AJ missed Gyro. That's a crazy leftover squad. And hopefully a reality check to some. What's up, JC? How you doing, brother? Yeah, it's Peeps 2.0. You know, you've got AJ instead of Reddles. Songs everywhere right now. Happy's been around for a long time. What's up, Silo? Silo, appreciate the follow, man. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you, man. First time I heard this song, I broke down like a little girl. Cried my eyes out. Speaking of combo with RL head of Esports, you have to appreciate Blast's efforts improving RLCS. Dude, they're trying, man. So many people are bitching about the RLCS, but it's like, dude, they're putting in real effort to make things better. All right, let's consolidate these. K Corp, BDS, and Gentlemates have rejected invites. Resolve, Endpoint, JJ Rocks, Jobless, and Luna Galaxy. And then we'll boop, 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 boop. We'll combine these. SSG, so we'll do Genji, SSG, OG. Better. Former LG. Good call. Think Bates, KC, and Vitality make changes. I would be very interested to see what changes they would do. I would not be surprised if Vitality is the most likely, due to them being the one that hasn't made a change so far. Am I wrong in thinking that a change in OG might be good? OG is... I don't think OG is ever going to be capable of winning a world championship or a major, but they will be part of the conversation. OG is a good foundational team, but they definitely need something to improve. I don't think so, Oscar. The reason why Kago is so important to SSG is he is the vocal leader. He is the experienced veteran. He is the person there to tie everything together. Topher has been in the league for a while, but hasn't really gotten the experience. He's kind of been on the outside in. He needs to be basically carried through. Like, let him just be a talented player. Let him be a talented player. That's it. I don't think OG were close to being part of the conversation last two majors. No, they will get to the dance, but they will not be dancing. Right? Jobless is playing with ass, which is nice. Rez. Ooh, I actually like that. I really like the Jobless plays. Megan, I assume they're still with Fruity, yeah? As coach. I think that's a pretty solid upgrade. I don't think it's Rezi, but... let's talk some of these rosters, yeah? Belagol is now playing... Is that same? Let's talk some of these new rosters, potentially. So, Temper out, playing with Mike Boy. Belagol playing with Mike Boy instead of Temper. TSM same. Snowman same. Think data toss need to change? They probably will be. I think they rebuild around Stizzy. I'm liking the two young guys with Garrett. Yes, it's exactly what if they're going to keep Garrett, they need to have two young mechanical players. You say that, but I don't really know if you consider Kofor young. Like, he's what, 17? Stizzy staying in NA? I have no idea. I don't know what his plans are. I don't know what Dig can support it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they rebuild and do something, but I don't know. Incorrect. Interesting. interesting. That's a team. Skills, Leth, and Rapid. I know Mexico is Central America, but do they count in RL? Do they count as SA or NA? Technically, North America. What about Jafino? No, Jafino's good, man. But yeah, like, how do you get rid of Jan and Lost? They're both way too good. Lost had a really good major, in my opinion. Like, it's so talented. Ghost Noobstan. Scrub Kill is new, whatever. Cloud9. Percy, Line Blaze, Kinze, yep. Rizix, Ivan, Tekos for Sa. That hasn't changed, right? No, because they brought in Rizix now. It always is, Haiku. It always is. From your point, what teams of players do you believe thrown together would be able to match up G2 and NA? Of course, not using G2 players. I think a Gen G could definitely do it. First Killer, Chronic, and third. I like Jack a lot. Maybe some iteration. You basically have to look at the top teams in. So like, here. If you go to the World Championship, you need to basically take. Actually, you can't even do that. Let's go to rankings. You basically have to take some sort of talent between these teams and find the best three that would make sense. So out of those three, most people would say First Killer, Chronic, LJ. First Killer, Chronic, Jack. First Killer, Jack, something. Like, you're basically got to find the three best talent out of these. Fate said FK, LJ, and Justin. Potentially, yeah. But I feel like some people are starting to be like Justin was the puzzle piece this whole offseason. Everybody was like, I need Justin on my team. That's what the roster change was there. So I don't know, man. You gotta find some sort of iteration to make it you gotta find a way to be competitive. What that's gonna look like, who knows? Fast forward. Is that changing at all? Smokes Noah. Yeah, that's different. With Smokes. Looks better if we do it that way. By the way, chat, hopefully you guys find this and be doing this helpful. Justin, LJ. I don't think that team would do as well. I think there's better options out there. So Nether Canada has changed to Americanada. I saw a lot of people say something like replacing parts with LJ, but I don't know about that either. I mean, that's a solid team, but I don't know if LJ feels comfortable leaving. Sag, what's up, Wendy? Oh, you're Nether Canada. I'm just happy to never have to say that shit again, even though I can say it comfortably now. Moist. Staying the same. No difference. Peeps. Gyro. AJ and question mark. Gibbs, Jorby, Turtle. Is that actually happening? Okay. What's up, Rude? I watched the USA versus Norway game yesterday. It was brutal. Who won? Yeah, dominate the lower bracket. It's going, Fruit. Third way 1-0. Did the United States look like shit? USA out. Who would be surprised? Okay, Welch. Wish seasons of talent cast do a bit more than cast. Maybe like get involved in mini events or something like that in an interview. I wish next season the talent cast do a bit more than cast. Maybe like get involved in mini events or something like interviewing. Yeah, Shroom. So ironically enough, that has nothing to do with the casters. That is entirely a production thing and what is within budget and time restrictions. So it's up to Blast to continue to further develop what that may look and feel like. But I think we can all selfishly be like, yeah, more is better. We would love more. Also, what is this team? This Sizen. Caliente didn't really do much. Why is Mod Sun playing? Get out of here. It's an interesting team. He's the Bonium. Loco, I haven't seen. So Delta Alraz no longer. Delta Beast Bonium, which is OG, and then Lo-Fi. Interesting. Durku, Talon. Eugen, Casper. I don't know why Eugen's not getting more. Like, Eugen's good. Delta and Beast Bonium are a really good twos duo. Yeah, they've been around for a while. It's like Charlotte Phoenix days, dude. And Splice. Yeah, I don't know why Eugen's not getting more. Like, Eugen's good. Doesn't Mist have a team for SSL? Yeah, there's conversations of it being these three. No, it's Jory's staying in NA. I don't think so, Oscar. From what Jory's was saying, it looks like they're shipping back. Jory's tweet: season with loads of highs and also many lows. We put in so much work. It just shows he still got it. NASA's definitely going to end up on a world contending team. Good luck to everyone that is still in season, and thanks for the support. Before the season started, I already decided that I would move back once the season was over. I don't want to stay away from home for too long. If we won Worlds, there might have been a chance that I'd stay, but still would have been unlikely. So Jory is very likely moving back to Europe. Whether NAS does that, we'll see. But Jory is confirmed he's moving back. So again, based on the conversations I have with Joris, I mean, that shit takes a lot of toll on you. Living out of Airbnbs and shit like that is not healthy. And I say that as someone who had to do that for RLCS for a couple seasons. Fucking sucked. But mostly was on Leaf, because Leaf doesn't know how to share personal space. 6 guys that need to shower in 2 bathrooms, and the man's doing his fucking hair. It's like, take your goddamn blow dryer and do it outside, guy. Fucking Leaf. All right. Is there any other Shift has the updated list for both? So let's just look. Was he about to start coaching? I don't know. Who is he tagged with? He signed up with one team and I forget who. Isn't Snowman? There. No idea. Tragic. All right. So usually in their articles, they have the teams. So we've got those. Another invite team tomorrow. And then you've got play-ins, right? And then we've got our EU teams as well. There's none of the top dogs. No Vitality. No KC, no mates. No BDS. Yep. I'm assuming no G2, unless G2 accepts invite and becomes the last one. So we'll see. We'll see if it's Oxygen. We'll see if it's G2. We'll see if it's... We'll find out. But you never know. You never know. So that's roster stuff kind of taken care of. I do want to... So chat, I want to do 3 videos today. If we can and if my voice holds up. I've also got a meeting later. I've actually got 2 meetings. Also, little bit of a spoily boy for you all. I find out in roughly 2 weeks if my off-season event is yay or nay. It is solely based on like funding and what that looks like. So appreciate it, chat. Thank you. There's a very good chance that we do it no matter what. It's just the extent He's a sub for the team. I don't know why he would associate with that as a sub. I don't know. I don't understand that boy's method at all. Okay. What's up, Crazy Legs? Anyway. All right. I mean, if Snowmen get picked up and he gets paid to be a content creator / sub, then why not? But like, why associate for no reason? You know, why not just leave everything open? And yeah, I don't know. So chat, we're gonna do a video on Shift Summer League just to keep people informed of that. Big Ed, are you still helping out with Shift Boys, or are you doing your own thing with coaching? I don't know if you're still associated with them or not. This is league and overtime span. One of the players might be available at some point. Yeah, that's fair. How about kills here and there? Long story short, I don't work with them. Gotcha. That's fair. Our server's down. It's Tuesday, so usually there's sometimes stuff. Coach and do agent work mostly now. Gotcha. All right. Let us run it. Hopefully my voice doesn't decide to go bye-bye during this. Chat, everybody say hi to the YouTube. Let's do it. We're gonna wing the shit out of this. Hopefully it doesn't sound bad. We'll see how it goes. I haven't done content brain in a week, so here we go. Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Got some exciting stuff to update you now that we are back in town from our vacation. If you guys are unaware, during the off season there is going to be a league play for people to tune in and watch with the Shift guys called Shift Summer League. I'm going to be calling it SSL just for simplicity reasons. They've been shooting out invites over the last week, and we've got our teams that are accepting and not accepting. And because of that, there's actually been some conversations. One about teams that are choosing not to accept their invites and why. We'll have a future video on that. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on notifications to understand why that is going. We'll break that down. But we've also got some teams that are of high status that are going to be competing. All of this starts on July 9th, so make sure you mark that in your calendars. There's going to be 4 play-ins or 4 qualifiers to find the 4 remaining teams that joined the 6 invitees. That has a bunch of different teams and signups and stuff like that. So we're going to go step by step and kind of talk to you guys. We're going to discuss the teams that are in. We're going to then discuss what some of the signups are and then an easy way to find more details. So first things first, in North America, we've got our invites at the bottom. We've got 4, most of the teams that are already in. Shopify, Genji, OG, Space Station, and then the former LG squad, Reddles, Magic Bear, and Cheese. These are confirmed. They will be competing in the main event. The main event is on the 16th of July. Qualifiers being on the 9th, like I said. So tomorrow or today when this video probably drops, you guys will see that last team announced at some point. And then on Friday or whatever day it is, just kidding, a week from today on the 9th, They'll have qualifier 1, and then they'll do qualifier 2, 3, and 4, and that'll give us our final teams. Okay. Over in Europe, we've got Luna Galaxy, Jobless, JJ Rocks, Endpoint, and Resolve, with the final announcement or the final team being invited as well. A lot of people speculating this could be Oxygen potentially. We'll see who it ends up being within their plans as well. We do have a bunch of different teams, and we're finding that through the sign up page. There's a bunch of different 130 plus signed up and ready to go. If you guys go into my description down below, I have a general news and roster rumor stuff starting and kind of building. The general news is K-Corp, BDS, Gentlemates, and very likely Vitality are not accepting invites, and they are rejecting them. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a more detailed video in the following days. We have the teams that have been accepted below as well. We're still waiting to see if G2 is going to accept that invite or not. We'll have to wait and see. In the roster documents, though, we do have some fun teams and some potential RLCS changes already happening. First one, NRG, now that Mist is gone, which we saw official at the beginning of last month. They look like they're going to be trying out Kofor, and Kofor is kind of a unique circumstance due to the fact that he has been in the league for a little bit. He's 17, I'm pretty sure now, so he's had his chance to kind of break into the space. But it seems like mentality shift, taking things a bit more seriously. And we talked about if NRG is going to be rebuilding around Garrett, they need to do it with young mechanical talent. Aqua and Kofor looks like it could be a very exciting follow through. Keep in mind, this is league play, round robin, so every team's going to be playing every team twice. Very interested to see how that one develops. Cloud9 potentially benching Zenil and trying out Kinsey instead. Curious on how that one plays. Incorrect is still sticking with Flitz and bringing back Wondamike, who used to be a very talented player, but we haven't seen him around in a while. Netherlands Americanada is now just Americanada. A little bit easier to say. Getting rid of their Netherlands representation and bringing in Dirtho instead. I'm pretty sure you've got the Peeps, which is an exciting one with Gyro and Mist, and then AJ potentially. What does that mean for M80? We already know that Jorias is going back to Europe. Nas is signed up with a different team. Curious on how that goes. And you've got Squishy likely signing up with Snowman as a sub. Don't know if he's going to be doing any coaching or anything, but we'll see how that one plays out. Over in Europe, Belagol is now playing with Mike Boy because Temper has announced that he is stepping away from competitive Rocket League, which is pretty crazy. You've got a full Spanish team with Dorito Dying and Stizzy. Not sure if that's just an off-season fun or if Stizzy's going to be sticking. I would assume they're trying to rebuild with him in Dignitas, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. You've also got Rizex, Ivan, and Tekos playing for SA. Fast Forward has Smokes coming in. And then you've got Noah Saki on that as well. And then 100% Louis P. Crispy and Acro changing some things up there as well. There is going to be more changes. There is going to be more teams that are kind of bouncing around and some stuff happening during the offseason. Obviously, the immediate kind of conversation is these are just signups. These are just teams like Lethamir signed up with Skills and Rapid, I think. Like there's some teams that are going to be just playing in this for fun, just to keep themselves fresh during the offseason. But for organizations, it's good because it does allow their teams to play in something. Hopefully content is made. Hopefully they can take advantage of that stuff, which kind of leads into the conversation, which is going to be in our future video about why, one, teams are declining invites, and two, kind of the general ecosystem. We've got statements from both the COO, as always, Jeff from Resolve. You also have Arnold from Gen G stepping in and providing his perspective as well. Some really good insight about kind of the state of Rocket League, where things are headed, and some of the changes that are happening. So with that in mind, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on those future conversations that we're mentioning, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and turning on notifications. Helps me out greatly, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Did all right for a week off. Take the content out of the content creating. Boy, you can't do it. That was beautiful. Thanks, Dorian. Someone hire me to do on-camera work. Thank you. I will pull the rabbit out of my behind and make it happen. Also, can we all agree that Tyler 1 should shave his head? I don't like it. It's weird. Don't like it. Shave your head, please. Go back. Fort mission. Does a rabbit cost extra? I think it looks weird. I don't like it. What's up, Alex? Hit your tried and failed? Yeah. As much grass as we touched, can't take it out, man. All right, so that's video 1. That is all checked out. Good. Now for the fun one. Where's Arnold's tweets? Some crazy shenanigans over at Digman. Hope they have a good lineup. Baguette. Baguette, there's only so much I can say about certain teams and certain things, but like, you know, I'm not one to bite my tongue, but obviously in this industry you have to if you want to have opportunities. But like, let's call it what it is. There is some people that should be under heavy scrutiny for their decisions and the successes or failures that some players have had because of it. Like certain coaches, managers, this, that, and the other should be on watch lists. Like, bro, it is time for you to get the fuck out of the way for some real talent to come in. And I'm not saying specifically who or what or why, but like, god damn, some people need to be like under some heavy scrutiny. What's your opinion on the shift round robin? I think having just I don't think RLCS should ever go back to league play, but I am fully supportive of organizations or people providing different formats throughout the year. Why not? If the funding is there and people are willing to sign up and play and they can turn it into something profitable, why wouldn't you? Please name drop. It's not worth my time, crazy. I think, chat, if you just look objectively at results of certain people with the talent that they have had, scrutiny should be there. There should be things questioned. What are we saying? Jeff, would you like to hop on Discord and talk while I go over your tweet with you? I think it'd be fantastic for the video. But I am about to break down your tweets as someone who does consulting in this industry and literally talks about this every fucking day. Yeah, I can. Cool. Give me like, I'm going to give my spiel of it, and then we'll go into kind of a non-official podcast, if that sounds good for you. Because I can just cut out the middle from the VOD and then just, you know. Got me on disc. Yes, sir. I will wave back. All right, chat. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And then I'm going to crush this through. Then we'll talk with Jeff. Sound good? Chat, I'll be right back. Everybody get up, stretch, get ready. And then get ready to buckle in.
Always me and you, shaping up and shipping out. Check me in and check me out. Do you like walking in the rain? When you think of love, do you think of pain? tell me what you see. I will choose what I believe. Well, hold on, darling. This body is yours. This body is yours and mine. Well, hold on, my darling. This mess was yours. Now your mess is mine. Your mess is mine. See you in the marketplace, walking around at 8 a.m. Got 2 hours before my flight. Luck be on my side tonight. You're the reason that I feel so strong.
Here, person, me. I'll give you what you want. Better. This is how we scare away the children.
It is ooh la la Lawler.
Yo, Scully, 46 months. Prime sub. Appreciate you using it here instead of elsewhere, brother. Almost at that 4-year mark, man. Crazy. All right. I'm done wasting Jeff's time. All right. I'm going to do an intro, and then we're going to pull him in. I will exit and splice it out and stuff. What song was that? That is Viking by Slaughter to Prevail. That is Viking. That's clean. If you've never listened to Slaughter Notorious, you're missing out, man. Alex and those boys are heavy as fuck. That's like my go-to music. Everybody was like, what do you normally listen to? I go, that. And they go, that's kind of crazy. But here we are. All right, chat, the way this is going to go is I'm going to record kind of my general statements, and then we are going to, and I hope Jeff is okay with it, I'm going to ask him some very specific questions, and I'm curious on if he's willing to detail them or not. But my job as an interviewer, as a host, is to ask the tough questions. So we'll see how much Jeff will divulge. But either way, it's going to be a healthy conversation. It's going to provide some insight. If you guys do not know Jeff, Jeff is the COO over at Resolve. They have GridServe as their title partnership. We're going to dive into that as well and talk about how that gets allocated. We're going to talk about what is COO, Chief Operating Officer. It's basically second in command. The COO basically oversees every single department. The only one they really adhere to is your CEO, your founders, and your ownership team. It is usually the consulting level that I perform at. Usually when I'm consulting for a lot of these organizations, I am operating as their stand-in COO, is basically what it feels like. But they have the most responsibility, the toughest job. Everything goes and functions through them when done correctly. So basically, Jeff is dad over at Resolve. Jeff started the company, sold it, and then brought him back to help it. Yeah. Jeff is good people. I wouldn't say that CEO minus pay. I would disagree with that because CEOs are usually more so like visionaries. They're there to try to grow and develop and bring to those next levels, and they do that with the monetary. They're there to network and relationship, and they're basically there to be like, next steps, this is the direction I want the company to go. The COO's job is to delegate that down to staff and make sure it's done intelligently. It's a very, very stressful job when done correctly. It's a lot of it falls on your shoulders. COOs are the ones that take the blunt of it, but they also have to make the tough decisions. CO decides where to go, CO decides how. Yeah. Both are integral. But most CEOs in esports, and I'll blanket statement, most CEOs in esports fucking suck. They're usually terrible. It's part of the reason why a lot of these organizations fail, if I'm being honest. Most CEOs have no fucking clue what's actually happening in esports. And they're too afraid to delegate or pass off or bring in people that do. It's one of the biggest problems. Most CEOs in esports are blind to this industry. They just saw it as a buzzword, got in, and now they're stuck. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to do a quick recording here. We're going to go through these tweets and then kind of break these down from my opinion of things. And then we're going to go back to the conversation with Jeff. So there might be a little bit of hiccup in there just because we have to like bring him into the call and then I'll do some editing, post-production bullshit for YouTube. This will all go on YouTube chat. So if you guys do miss out on this, don't worry. We'll clickbait it. It'll be great. Okay. Trying to think of a good title for this. We'll try that. We'll change that. We're going to workshop that title. All right, here we go, chat. And shout out to Jeff for being patient. Nice, JC. How's it going, YouTube? We've got a fun topic for you all today. We talked about in our previous video about Shift Summer League and why organizations are actually declining invites. We talked about stuff with K Corp and BDS, Likely Vitality, Gentlemate, so on, the big names in esports refusing to play in the league, why exactly that is, and some of the insight provided. We've got a special video for you all today for 2-3 reasons. Number one, we've got people who are actually in position to speak like intelligently on it. You've got COO Jeff from Resolve talking about it, and we're going to go through his tweets. We've also got Arnold, who is one of the founders and owners of Gen G, who is highly successful as well, providing his opinion on it. And to go even more detailed into it, we've got Jeff actually going to be joining us on a call and talking about it. So this video is going to be a little bit long, but buckle up. It should be a good one. First things first, we're going to talk about Jeff and how this all came to be. So Shift Summer League basically got into a conversation of saying, hey, we're seeing these big organizations from Europe decline. And Jeff goes, hey, I've been quote tweeted a few times on my opinion of this. Why is this happening? Let's provide some insight. And he's like, personally, I believe they're trying to get tournament operators, in this case, Shift, to solve a problem that we as orgs need to actually address ourselves. If you guys have watched any of my content, if you guys have watched anything I do, you should know how critical I am of how stupid these organizations are functioning. And I'm not going to bite my tongue about it. A lot of these organizations are full of nepotism. They're incompetent as fuck. They have no clue what they're doing. They need to understand that esports right now is a marketing tool. You are promoting something with a team that you are spending a ludicrous amount of money on for no return. And the only way some of these organizations are recouping that cost is through prize pools. By going to majors, by going to world championships, they take 20% of a larger cut, and that helps fund some of the organizations. Some people like Jeff are doing this more intelligently by hiring content directors and producers and doing behind the scenes content, seeing what a coach actually does with Tadpole, going through the highs and the lows, so on and so forth, using that content and the marketing tool that is their team to promote. Now, let's call it what it is. I don't think that Resolve currently has the namesake and the notoriety of someone like an apparently Jack, which he brings up. You know, in Europe, standard salaries are anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month up to $12,000 a month per player. And it is even higher in North America, because North America has a better marketing area. They have more opportunities for sponsorships, so on and so forth. So with orgs taking a massive risk, you're talking for some of the top teams, $36,000 a month just in player salaries. How do we recoup this? How do we sustain? How do we find ways to keep this going? So he brings up the conversation of if players are taking a good wage, most of the prize money, and aren't really making content, they're not being enforced to do meet and greets, they're not being forced to submit footage or stream or whatever, how can we get additional value out of this? How can we get additional creativity? How can we basically hold these players accountable to make it so our dollar is worthwhile? And these are a lot of things that have to be discussed. Are the players doing YouTube, TikTok, short form content? Are they streaming regularly? Do they consistently use their social media? Are they posting on our behalf? Can we use them in ad stuff? Hey, if we've got a sponsor coming in, are we able to do that? All of these things create additional values, and Jack has done a great job. If you go look at apparently Jack's social media, if you look at Gen G's post, anytime they've got new merch drops, he's there. Anytime that Jack is tweeting about a result, he is active. Anytime that he's playing in something, they know he's doing it. He makes YouTube content. He streams. He is very active, which is why Jack is deserving of a higher pay, because he provides value. Whether you love or hate Reddles, some people think that's very polarizing. Reddle's YouTube channel is more valuable than the results of a team like Gen G and First Killer, because First Killer doesn't stream. He doesn't make content. Yes, he's very talented, but I'm always going to want to pay Jack more because his value outside of the game is actually transferable. It holds weight. He has fans that will support him in anything he does. Jack, to me, is like the golden goose. He is the epitome of what I want in a player. He's mature. He makes content. He shows up when he's supposed to. He's a competitor. Takes things seriously. Orgs drool at the fact of an apparently Jack. 1000%. So, Jeff then brings up the conversation, what should orgs be doing instead? And he says, collectively, we have to be on the same page and raise our expectations for prize pool share. And we need to have those contract conversations. We need to basically say at the beginning, and what's crazy to me is that this hasn't been the case earlier. When going into a contract, and this is stuff I do as a consultant, there's multiple things that need to be in writing. Number one, you are sending us a minimum amount of content. We will provide a counteract with that. We'll provide you editors. We'll do things to make it as easy as possible on you so you can focus on competing. But you 1000% are making content. You have to. It is part of your contract. You're going to get paid less because the market value isn't there. Let's be transparent and tell you guys, I can't pay you these exorbitant prices that you used to get paid because the ad revenue isn't what it used to be. The marketing dollars aren't there. VCs, venture capitalists, aren't just throwing exorbitant money in. We can't give you this money. It is not and does not make sense. We are going to be transparent with the way that things work. And then you guys want boot camps. You guys want travel accommodations. We got to find a way to make that make sense. So being transparent with your players about why they're getting paid what they're getting paid. And then the other side of it is organizations need to come to terms that if the price isn't right, stop committing to it. Stop spending all this money that, one, you can't afford because you don't have a sponsor, and two, you don't have revenue or like verticals to actually build money so you can pay for it. You don't have an active business. You have an inflated IP that has no intrinsic value outside of the inflation that you've basically fooled these people into thinking. That's got to stop. It has to stop. The other side of it, and this is something that I can't wait to talk to Jeff about, is conversations with the developer for better rev share options. I think there is a transition that is starting to happen in Rocket League. I think Epic Games in particular is starting to understand that you can't template what is working for Fortnite, which is going to not work for Rocket League, is a different circumstance. It's a better circumstance. And understanding ways to drive revenue so teams do want to invest in your game, because the more teams put into your game, the more the game gets played, the more growth that happens. So crazy stuff. Good insight from Jeff. We'll talk about him in a bit. On the other side of it, Arnold, who is the CEO of Gen G, talks about as well, after talking about Frelly put out a tweet basically saying, I'm glad people are saying this, that isn't just a caster person. And I doubled down on that with Jack. I can't keep, as a consultant, as a caster, continuing to be like, you guys are acting stupid. Stop doing this. Listen, it is better to hear from people that have weight, and their followings are going to be people that lead by example. If Gen G starts doing things differently, other organizations will follow. If G2 starts doing things differently, other people will follow. So he says, hey, there is a... Sorry, dog. I said that too loud. The dog barked. So there is a reset coming in Rocket League competitive scene that many are still largely unprepared for. And I agree, a lot of organizations are not ready for the changes that are going to be happening. They just aren't. I can't say what those things are because I'm under NDA, but it is going to be a wake-up call for a lot of organizations in the Rocket League space. He said, recently I've had numerous talks with players, content creators, and ownership across different teams in the ecosystem that we can't rely only on a competitive calendar alone to create value. Which is true. Not all esports are like Counter-Strike, where they are gone 285 days out of a 365-day calendar. There's so much competition that ad revenue and prize pool portions and stuff are enough to keep things sustainable. It's also why they can pay their teams in the 2 to 5 million area, which they've also recently reduced because it's insane, and Vitality can't keep getting away with it. But it's about creating value and talking about those things Jeff said of creating additional value outside of just competition. It's critical that we continue to find ways to deliver value for them outside of tournaments. One of the major problems in the ecosystem is that we still haven't cracked the code for the right way to develop and promote digital goods, in-game items, rev share options, decals, so on and so forth. For a lot of organizations, that decal option is insane. It's very rare to Rocket League that organizations have the ability to go to a sponsorship and say, hey, we have an item in-game that people can buy, and we can slap your logo on the side of this item. It's very valuable for partnership teams to be able to sell that spot, but it is not enough. We need to make it clear to both fans and players that in the near term, we're in the business of marketing the game and specifically the skins in it, because that is how Epic makes their money. Finding a way to mesh those two things so Epic is happy and orgs are happy that they get a kickback is part of the reason why Dota 2 and the Compendium prize pool works. I, as a fan, am willing to drop a $20 budget every season on a skin because I know 100% of the proceeds are going back to the esport. And right now we don't have that level of transparency with Rocket League. We don't know what portion is going to and what. That transparency has to happen. Okay? It says, I'm still currently viable revenue stream for the esports that's best aligned with what viewers and the player base is willing to spend money on. You have some people in the community talking about a pay-per-view type system. It's all outdated. Something new has to be developed. People talking about, hey, we need a 24/7 ESPN type. No, we don't, because most people in esports don't pay attention to anything outside of their own ecosystem. I can't justify doing a 24-hour broadcast on multiple esports because only fan bases will tune in for their specific portion, and they don't really care about the cross-pollination of others. They're focused on their one thing, and they're dedicated to it. So things like that don't work. It's got to be something different. It has to evolve. We can't keep relying on the past. Esports can learn from traditional sports, but it's got to be something different, unique for what is evolving in our industry. He says he's still relatively new to the scene in Rocket League, so he's refrained from speaking out too much, but there is so much potential still left to unlock, and we've only scratched the surface, which I agree. I think the biggest fault of Rocket League has been the developers themselves. I think they have held themselves back by being too secretive for way too long, and we are starting to see that change a little bit, kind of peeling back the curtain, okay? It says, Genji as an org, while absolutely committed to Rocket League, it's one of the most brand and user-friendly esports out there. It's E for everyone. All the accessibility things we talk about, ball goes in net. We've harped on that conversation a lot. And he's dedicated and made a fan base in their player base, which they've done a good job of utilizing Jack, so on and so forth. The documentaries that they put out are fantastic. He's like, if we can make progress to create value through better content, sales of in-game digital items, increased visibility and integration supported by Epic, we have an exciting esport that teams and brands would jump again to invest into, which is the case. There is a reason why a lot of organizations are not signing teams, and there has been a lot of unsigned teams in the top 16 in both NA and EU, because right now, financially, it just does not make sense. It says a lot sounds like a lot of doom and gloom, but I actually think we're beginning to take steps in the right direction, which I will double down on based upon the conversations I have. I agree. I think 2025, 2026 is an exciting time. It's going to be different. It's going to be weird for a lot of organizations, and a lot of organizations are going to struggle with the changes, but I think they're the right changes that are being made. I'll provide more details on those things as they become public. I can't because I'm under NDA right now. Hopefully we can get Jeff to break his in just a bit here. See how that goes. So with that in mind, he's talking about, hey, there's a viable path. We're trying to make things more sustainable. It takes everyone, okay? It has to be on the fans. It has to be on Epic, the developer, and it has to be on the organization supporting the fourth thing, which is the players. Everything comes into play here. It is the epitome of it takes a village. It can't just be one. So with that in mind, let's bring Jeff into the call and talk about this topic as a whole.
Hello, sir.
Hey, there we go. All right, I'm going to mute audio, or actually I'm going to turn it down really low, and then we'll edit this. So first and foremost, thanks for joining me. Obviously, I know you're a busy man, but for those that don't know, this is Jeff, COO of Resolve GridServe, the parent company that you guys are using for your title partnership. I think I kind of want to start there, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So obviously,
yeah, fine. And apologies if my audio is a bit rubbish. I'm actually on holiday at the moment, and I'm
man's on holiday and he's still taking a call. What's wrong with you? So obviously, you know, a lot of the conversation is about being able to actually financially support this. Obviously, the market, from my perspective, has been inflated for a really long time. And I think some players, not all, are coming to the reality of understanding that these overinflated, the market price, so on and so forth. And there's definitely some culprits in the agency world that are still forcing those high market values. But some players seem like they are finally coming to terms with, one, the price that's associated with it, how much they should realistically be paid, and then 3, the responsibility of like, shoot, I do need to make content, I need to make myself accessible, and coming around to the understanding of like, 1, it's actually good for us, and 2, like, we really don't work that hard. Like, so yeah, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, I think you're right. I think the players are more open to the conversation than perhaps agents and their representatives are at the moment. When you speak to the players about it, they aren't generally as oh, we need to be paid this amount and we need all the prize money. And I think that they are more flexible, and I think they are understanding, especially when you sit down face to face and speak to them. I think they are understanding of that conversation, and they're definitely open to it. Whether agents and representatives are, because largely their fees are based on how much a player gets paid every month, is another conversation. But I think the players are somewhat.
I think there's this reality check as well that is happening. Like, it is kind of being forced, where a lot of these players that are kind of in that B tier, C tier category are sitting a whole season without pay. You know, it is prize earnings and that's it. And I think that reality is now coming in. Oh, I can't request 4, 5, 6, 7 euros a month. It's just unrealistic, especially when I'm not a top 4 team guarantee. You know, no one's a guarantee in this Rocket League. Like, Rocket League is the epitome of any given Sunday. So I think some of it's forced reality, but I also think organizations are finally starting to put their foot down. For a long time, we've seen them kind of cave, and the bid war just gets to be astronomical numbers, and the players benefit, which is great. I'm all for players securing the bag. They work hard. But there is that culmination of coming together and understanding this is beneficial for both of us. And if you don't take such a higher pay, now we have money to fund for boot camps. We can build up your personal branding. We can do things that are beneficial to both sides that have kind of taken a back seat in the past, where it's just all of that responsibility was just always on you guys. So to that, I further express, I'm curious if you're willing to share, and if you can, you know, I'm just trying to do my job, what the details of GridServe came to be, how that partnership was created, what that provides you guys. I don't know if you can give specifics of what that looks like, but kind of take me through the GridServe partnership and why that is such a huge factor in you guys picking up a team.
Yeah, so I think any name partner, I think Arnold talked a little bit about this, touched on it anyway, with the sort of Mobile One partnership that those guys have. I think it...
You just cut out on me.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Let me move the server for you on Discord.
Okay.
You got me? Can you hear me now?
Just happening.
How's it now?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
All right, I put the server in Rotterdam, so
okay,
let's try that.
Okay, bro. Sweet. Yeah, sorry, I'll just start again. So, I think, you know, Arnold talked about it briefly in his tweet as well, and, you know, with the Mobile One partnership. And I think that gives us a really like insane opportunity really to be able to not only put them on all your match day graphics, on all your every time the casters talk about you, on all the broadcast assets, etc., but also on the car. And I think we worked out the other day, and don't get me wrong, I know Arnold again talked about this, and the actual decal sales have been certainly for Q1 were really poor. I think in terms of what we experienced last year, because we had 2 decals, I think they have been worse. However, we worked out roughly that if everybody that had bought our decal in Q1 used it for just 50 games, bearing in mind in Q1 as well, we weren't making main events.
Right.
If everyone in Q1 had used our decal for 50 games, everyone that had bought it, then over like 900,000, 1 million people had seen it. In game, obviously not unique people because some of those will be replicated across games, but yeah, insane numbers really. So in terms of what they give us, can't get into the like full ins and outs, like specifically of what they pay us, but it is significant. It is our sort of our main source of revenue, and I think off the top of my head, without checking, it pays for our Rocket League team and the staff associated directly with the team entirely. But it doesn't obviously cover all of our, our additional staff, our content, our boot camps, etc., all that sort of stuff. So I think as an org, we're roughly like 75% sustainable. And then the remaining money basically comes from our investment group. We obviously earn revenue from little bits of content, Twitch. We earn revenue obviously from the in-game decal sales and things like that. And we are working on other revenue streams and obviously other partnerships and sponsorships and stuff. But that's where we're at currently.
I think people don't understand kind of that impact too, and not saying it's like people selling the souls, but Esports World Cup comes in and says, hey, you don't have a team, you have a notable name, we're going to give you a blank check of $200,000 to $600,000, pick up a team, and now you're instantly profitable. You talk about this title partnership is 75% of staffing the Rocket League team and then some, and now you can be instantly profitable for a couple of years potentially, depending on how big this organization is. For the really big ones like Cloud9 and OG and stuff, that is basically buying you time. And to me, it creates a problem and it sets a precedent of we're still going to be able to rely on partnership dollars, which is it should not be the case. While it's very helpful and it's a pretty standard telltale, that's how it's always been. Organizations need to transition into finding other other verticals that they can use to actually generate revenue, become self-sustainable. So when you put a logo on a jersey, it is self-fulfilling. It is our product. It is our, whatever you want to call it, our business that then kicks back to us. We sponsor our own players with our own stuff. So when they are streaming or they are in videos, that is us just promoting ourselves versus hoping we can promote a sponsor. There's things like that are starting to happen, but it's like, it is crazy to me that a lot of these organizations are basically like, we're going to double down on the reason we're in the position we are now. And I don't think any of them are going to learn from it, which is frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and you make a good point there. Like, if you look at Fnatic, have done Fnatic gear for a long time.
Right.
You look at 100 Thieves, they obviously made their own drinks brand and separate games publisher now as well. You look at even Endpoint in the UK, they obviously have prac rooms now, which is their facility to host boot camps.
Look at Rebellion in Canada, man. Like, they are the saving grace for so many teams in North America.
Yeah, I think it's I think it makes a huge difference having those sort of revenue streams that are not reliant on sponsorship, and even better if they are recurring every month, that you don't necessarily need to even think about from an esports org perspective. Somebody else runs that, and that is a separate part of your business. Even better. Obviously, there is an outlay, it's a separate business to run. There is obviously other issues with that, but I think the majority of esports orgs as just esports orgs are not making money. I'd be surprised if there's any that are even like close to sustainability a lot of the time. And yeah, I think we're in a good place personally. You know, like I say, we only, you know, we're 75% sustainable. We're in a good spot. I would definitely like to be in a much better spot, because not only do I want to just be in Rocket League, I want to be able to expand to other titles, but I also want to take on some of those projects of our own and have the money to go and do those. And some of those have been in the works for a little while, and hopefully, you know, some of those things will see the light of day. But yeah, I think it's really, really important to you know, to start to diversify, and orgs that haven't already thought about it are well behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's far too gone. Like, it's crazy. You know, you compare it to like the stock market right now is buying in the dip. Like, Rocket League is in a great spot as a game itself per se, but esports is definitely seeing a refinement process. It's going through some pretty scary things, obviously, with all the layoffs that we've seen. But
yeah,
orgs that can recognize that, hey, there is a massive oversaturation of talent. There is some really talented people out there. I mean, you're looking at some of the biggest organizations like 100 Thieves and stuff having to let go some of their videographer people. It's like, that person is world-class talented. So being able to find ways to sustain, like you're saying, and then hire those people to allow us to then double down, grow. I guess it leads me to, okay, obviously the immediate impact of getting into a different game or a different title is, hey, that's a new fan base, that's different people, that's a different audience, so on and so forth. The justification to be able to do that, is it purely, hey, we have a title partner? Is it like, what allows you guys to either A, take on that financial burden outside of just title partner? Like, what is the decision-making process for you guys to be like, okay, time to get into a second game? Because that's one more title, one more developer, one more thing that we've got to balance. That's more staff. That's, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on.
Yeah, so I think it's not just one thing. I think there's multiple things that we have to consider. So, yeah, we look at how developed the esport is, you know, from both the publisher side and like in terms of viewership and all those sorts of things, because we want to make sure that there's eyes on the team that we're going to sign. We look at things like, do they have like a partnership scheme as part of the, you know, that the developer offers? Is there some rev share there? Is there the possibility for in-game items? Those sorts of things that are going to generate revenue for us as a team. Obviously, Valorant has their partner program. Apex Legends has theirs. Counter-Strike obviously has the stickers for majors and various different things that we can look at to generate revenue. But also, I think it has to be the right time as well sometimes, whether, you know, the right team comes along at the right time. Sometimes it's just kind of meant to be, for want of a better phrase. And I think finding the right people that match your brand is very important. We very much have or try and avoid picking up players that we don't want to work with, if it makes sense. We don't want to sit there and work with players that aren't going to get on board with the things that we want to do, aren't going to do content, aren't going to necessarily, you know, we talked about, I heard you talking before about whether players want to do content, whether they want to stream, whether they want to do media, etc. And it's not necessarily a bad thing if they don't want to do those things, if it's outlined from, you know, the offset, and you know, and the salary reflects that. Right. But also it makes it really hard to market the team if players don't want to do that. So yeah, a bunch of different things that we take into consideration. Can we make money? Can we market it well? Can we market the team? And what relationship are we going to have with the publisher when we enter?
I think it's crazy too, because it's like there is some organizations that don't understand the importance of that. Though, like, it is a really difficult. Like, my like feet are into Counter-Strike, Apex. I cast quite a bit, and then obviously Rocket League. And it's like the contrast between working with the Apex guys, who are obviously older, and like they measure the distance they need to be away from their monitor in like beer cans. And it's just a different world compared to working with Rocket League, right? So there's a level of maturity. There's a firm understanding of the business side of things. And in Rocket League, it's the same thing with like coaches. Coaches aren't just there to like make sure you're as good at the game as possible. They're also like mentors. They're there to guide these people through, you know, growth and development as young adults. And it's very difficult, because trying to get a young 15, 16, 17-year-old kid to understand the big picture when their brain literally can't see outside of their bubble is very difficult. and finding the ones that do understand that. It's a world of value to have a young kid understand, oh, I need to do this because it is in my best interest. It benefits the organization. It gives me a long-term home. You know, like, people don't understand that, like, this industry goes quick. Like, you can no longer be good enough in a moment's notice. And to have someone that is willing to dedicate time, effort, and money to you long-term is a rarity. So I think organizations both need to take their responsibility of laying it out there and being very understanding, because let's call what it is. A lot of these agencies are predatory. They do not operate like actual agents where they help them with PR and lifestyle coaching and things like that. They literally just take a percentage of their cut, and that's why they're, you know, inflating these prices. It's terrible. So I wish orgs would take more time and effort to really educate and showcase and establish a good foundational support of, like, this is the way the world works. It's the stuff that obviously in the States we don't get in our education system. They never teach us, like, this is how you balance a checkbook. This is, you know, this is insurance. This is, you know, obviously you guys have that provided to you because your government isn't complete trash, but, like, no government's perfect, so it is what it is. But yeah, it's,
I'm not sure about that, but
yeah, that's, I've seen some things lately in the last timeline and a half of, it's crazy. But it's like there's basic things that need to be integrated. Like, the amount of kids that I talk to, I'm like, how was your orientation? They're like, what's that? I'm like, you don't have even an orientation with the organization? They don't, like, tell you who you're going to be working with or set a precedent of how things are going to look or provide you communication? Like, things like that just don't exist. I'm like, how is this not a standard? Like, orgs need to be better, but players also need to be better about taking responsibility too. It's terrible, man.
Yeah, 100%. I think this season we've been, certainly this second split, I think we've been luckier with that for sure. We've had players who are quite mature, who are willing to do content, they're willing to stream, make their own sort of TikTok content, etc. I think the guys we work with this second split have been great, but that isn't always the case.
Right.
I think it is our job to not only, and we talk about this a lot, you know, one of the first hires that I came to Resolve was Alex, who's our head of performance. And Alex, his job is to help the players get the best performance on game day, but it's also to make them the best versions of themselves that they can be. We aren't just here to make these players play a video game for as many hours as possible, because that's not what we're about. That doesn't sit right with me. We have to look after these young individuals who are, a lot of the time, you know, especially in Rocket League, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. And we've got a responsibility to do right by them. And I think it's also important that, you know, coaching staff and management set a good example in terms of, like, how they act and stuff, especially at boot camps and things like that. I know that's not as big a thing in North America, but obviously in Europe we have a lot of boot camps. So I think it's important for staff to behave in a way that is professional and also, like, sort of teaches them how to be, I guess. You know, a lot of their social interaction has not been in the adult world at this point. So I think that's really important. Yeah, and I think, you know, we very much want to have players leave us as the best versions of themselves, not just the best player that they can be. And I think a lot of orgs forget about that, and agents don't care about that. I've never ever been asked by an agent, what are we going to do to promote their player during the season? How are we going to help their player? How are we going to help their player? You know, in terms of growing their personal brand and things like that. Or very, very rarely, I should not say never, but very rarely do we get asked about those things. And I think those are really important. So yeah, I think there's a lot. I think players, and, you know, we talk about orgs as well. When we're signing players, we need to do a better job of outlining what the expectations are from the get-go. And I think a lot of orgs just don't care. There are a lot of orgs that are just happy to be involved in the esport, don't really care about the revenue generation, don't care about what cut of prize pool they're getting, and that really fucks over us that are businesses, and aren't reliant on, you know, mega investment dollars or whatever. Yeah, so I think collectively as well, we as orgs need to talk to one another. We don't. The shift thing is a prime example of that.
Right.
Of orgs not speaking to one another, or very select orgs speaking to one another only. Yeah, I think there's faults on all sides. This is not like one specific person's problem. I think everybody can do better, but yeah, hopefully that's a few. Sorry, I went off on a whole tangent there.
It's good, man. Like at the end of the day, the reason I'm having this conversation is so when people watch this video back, they listen to you talk, because, and it kind of goes back to my thought process. Number one, I want to be respectful of your time. If you're on holiday or if you're relaxing and you're taking time to talk to us, I need to respect that and not keep you here all day. So to wrap things up, I'm going to say a lot of things and then I'm going to let you say a lot of things and then we'll call it. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good.
So obviously with your tweet, there's only so many characters that you can type, right?
Yeah.
So before we get into that kind of final statement to address, I think it is very important that you guys are obviously actively trying to be better about upfront things and setting a precedent, because players do talk. Players are going to be like, oh, over at this organization, it was like this. Is it not like that for you? Which then educates them holistically. Like it just becomes a thing through osmosis where these players will communicate and say, this is the precedent that was set at my other organization. Oh, that's not happening here. I don't like that. I want that to change. And hopefully they speak up as they become veterans in the space. So by orgs doing it, players will talk and then it will make that change happen. Even if certain agencies don't do it to the degree that they should, the communication, the conversations that come from orgs talking, like we've seen previously as well, when those 13 organizations signed a petition saying, Sonics, you either communicate better or we leave. And some of them, like Cloud9, did. And it's crazy to see Cloud9 only coming back because of that stimulus money from EWC, rather than sticking to the guns of being like, we want a top 2 team. Because I know they were sending offers to Beast Mode and First Killer and Daniel and build us a super team. And that no longer is their priority because they saw the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think setting that precedent from you guys and saying, this is the expectations we're setting, this is how we operate, and we're putting our foot down, goes both ways. It'll provide change that is desperately needed, but it will also provide an appreciation from the ones that do it right, which I think you guys are. You know, you guys can tell through those videos, you genuinely care about your players, which is unfortunately a rarity, like you said, for some of these organizations. So I think that goes hand in hand. And then on the tail end, to make sure we can get you out of here and let you enjoy your time before chaos happens again. Obviously, that tweet, you had enough to say, but I also know that in a tweet, you can only say so much before it becomes this novel. I want to give you the opportunity, if there's something that you didn't get to talk about or something you would like to touch on, or if you have any kind of broader statements that you want to be heard, I want to give you the floor to do so.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I saw people talking about afterwards was, you know, TOs should help teams more. I think that's also correct, but we shouldn't be asking for those things from what is effectively a community tournament and the first time that they've, you know, that Shift have run a tournament. This is probably very much a let's see how it goes and maybe we'll run it again next summer, or maybe we'll do it again later in the off season kind of thing. And I don't know. I don't think we should be saying to Shift on this occasion, oh, you need to pay us as orgs to be involved. That's not the way it should work. If tournament organizers are getting, you know, significant sponsorship and they are getting value from teams being involved in the tournament, whether that be, you know, through that sponsorship or through significant social growth, etc., then absolutely there should be some revenue share with the organizations. However, in a community tournament like this or other community tournaments, there's no way that we should be asking for that. It doesn't make any sense to me, and especially for the orgs that, and I don't mind. I'm quite happy to stand here and say I don't know why they're doing this. Especially for those teams that are going to be going to Worlds, going to be going to, you know, those lucky 2 chosen to go to the Esports World Cup from Europe.
Right.
I don't understand why they wouldn't compete when this is going to be the best level of competition that they get in the build-up to those tournaments. They're going to be paying their players anyway. So unless, I mean, maybe they have something else going on that we don't know about, and if so, I'll shut up and I'll take it back. But right now, I have no idea why they aren't. And if it's purely because they want it to be paid and they're not going to be, I think that's really dumb. So
I mean, I'm with you, man.
We'll see.
I can provide perspective. As someone who's trying to run a tournament this offseason, I'm already putting in tens of thousands of dollars, right? Like it is a insane amount between production, commentators, making sure that, we have staffing, admin, like everything involved, a prize pool. Like your compensation for being involved is a chance at the prize pool. So that can't change, and we can't provide like a stipend for organizations, because you better believe I'm using the likeness of saying, hey, if I run this tournament, these people will play, it'll have this reach, these are the numbers that'll pull. I have, from when I ran tournaments with like ESPN, I can have analytics that say this is what will pull, these are the types of people that will be in it. We are leveraging that based upon what we have in the past. The difficulty though is right now, community guidelines, there is heavy limitation in us making it profitable. Like I'm going to run what is essentially $100,000 investment at a wash, hopefully, right? So it's like for these organizations to be like, hey, you got to pay us as well, as like, well, until I can actually make real money on this, there is no way. And by you reducing or you not being involved, the things that you want, which is more tournaments so you can make content, so you can leverage your players, so you can get your money's worth out of what you're paying these people, until I can actually make a profit and turn this into something I can do sustainable, you not being in this kills it for everyone. Like, help me help you. This all, like I've said earlier in this video, it takes a village to make this stuff happen. By them pulling out is just, it is cutting themselves off at the kneecap. It is so stupid. So, like you said, unless they've got like some crazy reduced salary opportunity here to retain for maybe a buyout, or there's another tournament that they have that they're competing in, or if they're just happy taking EWC money and that's all they need and they don't want to do anything extra, like, I don't know, man. I really don't. I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
We will. Jeff, it is always a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time, man. Especially for the moment. This was unplanned and you just happened to pop in, which is greatly appreciated. Appreciate you lurking the shit. Because I know you're a busy man. So, seriously, much love. I know the chat really appreciates this as well. Everybody who is watching, go support Resolve. Please go show the guys the love. They're doing it the right way. It is easy to root for an org that I genuinely know gives a shit, which I know you guys do. So appreciate you.
Yeah,
Jeff,
appreciate
as always.
it. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, thanks for taking time. Enjoy your vacay, and hopefully we talk soon. Yeah,
thanks. Yes.
Right.
See you later.
Later, bud.
Bye.
In chat, Jeff, COO of Resolve. Make sure you guys go show him love. Make sure you guys go show him support. Again, there's a lot of things changing in this industry, and it is going to, like I said, take a village for that to happen. Organizations, players, creators, developers, everybody involved, and you guys watching. Support the good ones. Support the ones that actually care. Win or loss, whatever they're doing, they're trying to do it the right way. So with that in mind, chat, longer conversation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it pulls the viewership that we hope it does. But as always, if you guys do enjoy this type of content, if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm going to try to pull you guys as much stuff during this off season that is a little bit different. But I'm out of here. Peace. Yeah, check out Raven. Raven is actually Raven used to do Space Station merch as well. It's probably one of the more comfy. You can also post links, Jeff. Yeah. Raven is relatively comfortable. I actually really like their stuff, and it actually hugs. Good to see you, Dadpole. How are you doing, sir? Also, Jeff, if you're still listening when you get the chance, make sure you yell at them so they put you guys in the drop down, because for some reason they don't have you under pro teams. I don't know if you guys have official or not, but you're not in the drop down. They've got Wildcard, Sonics, Pioneers, Oxygen, so on and so forth, but I don't know if they're supposed to update that for y'all. or if you guys are just embedded. Fairly recent. We'll sort. You bet. You bet. Yeah. Resolve's got some clean merch. I like the color aesthetics of them too. It's a little bit different. Hopefully you guys start doing your like hoodies and stuff like that for them too. Because right now it's, I think, just jerseys. But again, guys, massive love to Jeff and everybody for taking the time. Obviously, some of that stuff is spur of the moment. It is not a planned thing. We just kind of pulled that one out of nowhere. So, very thankful for Jeff for taking the time, especially if he's on vacay and doing his own thing. But I think it's very easy to tell when you have a owner or founder or someone that is at the helm who actually gives a shit about his team and his players. Results or otherwise, you know, like there's, like, obviously Resolve hasn't had the greatest results historically, you know, even when even when the guys were super close to qualifying multiple times, they just, you know, didn't have that clutch gene. What is your method for organizing information for interviews? Do you have info all in your head on a Word doc with potential questions? Usually there is, like, when I request to do an interview, I usually have a general idea of what I want to talk about. If things are spur of the moment, it's more so about creating a conversation and just kind of going with the flow. The downfall of that is sometimes you do miss out on specific topics you want to ask, but for the most part, it is, I'm just winging it. I'm just trying to have a conversation with someone that I enjoy talking to. I think in my experience, when it comes to interviews, as someone who genuinely cares or someone that is invested in what's happening, I'm just going to ask the questions I want to know the answers to, you know? If I'm preparing, like, say I was the interviewer for RLCS, right? Say I was doing what Leaf is doing. Going into those, you have a little bit more prep time and a couple things, you know, storylines that you're mindful of, so on and so forth. But I am going to try to make it as conversational as possible. I'm going to do my best to make sure that the questions I'm asking are things that I genuinely would like to know an answer to. And I'm not going to hold my tongue back. I'm going to ask them a hard-nosed question of like, hey, man, Jeff, what's going on with the grid surf partnership? What all went into that? My job should not be to withhold that information. That should be Jeff's job based on what he wants to divulge, what he wants to share. That is up to him. But I'm still going to ask the tough question because it is something I genuinely want to know. When he is like, hey, it's 75% of our costs, it should show you how important that partnership is. 75% of their costs alleviated like that. There you go, Welch. Yeah, it's their jerseys with Gridself. Yeah, it is interesting to see the way those things are developing. So, hats and hoodies for the win. I don't wear hats anymore, man. I used to be perma hat when I was Any roster changes? Mostly just rumored stuff. If you do the roster doc, it's got some updates in there. Probably update the date on that too. I'll get a watch. Nice, Panda. Today's the 2nd, right? Oh, chat. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Whether you're lurking or just hanging out or otherwise, it is appreciated. If you guys enjoy the content, drop a follow. Also, we got rated by Subpar in the middle of that. Shoutouts to Cole and the guys. Hopefully Cole had a good stream. I saw he's been he had a clip with like, I think Johnny was like teaching him about how to match height to challenge like a ceiling, and he dunked on a dude. Seems like he's been grinding the game, which is cool. He says he's been having a lot of fun. Last time I stopped in there, actually like playing ranked and stuff, which is cool. What else were we going to talk about today? We had like 3 or 4 topics. Top 25 list. I don't know if I'm going to get to a video to it today, just because my voice is kind of feeling it. But what we can do is find our averages and start plugging that away. Players should be 18. I disagree with that. I think you can work legally in the States at 15. Like you can have a I forget what the official word is for it. It's been a long time. But basically at 15 you have the ability to work legally. But there is limitations of hours. I think that's the one thing that is a little bit iffy, is these players obviously put in a lot more time than a full-time job, which labor law wise can be kind of sketchy. I was all for when they changed the age to 17, not to 13. Just because I think Rocket League suffers a lot from certain events and stuff because school and, you know, life limitations with these young kids. I think it'd be good to not have to work through that. Yeah, work permits through school. That's it. Work permit. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that were held back on with traveling restrictions and people having schooling and this, that, and the other. And if they did like a grandfather clause where it's like, hey, if you were born before this time, you can still compete in the RLCS. Yes, Rumble, but it'll be on YouTube. But I thought, you know, if you do 17 and then, you know, eventually things developed where they could do academy or, you know, an amateur league or something like that. It's one of the things that I really like about Rocket League or about League of Legends, although League of Legends is having a really tough time sustaining it. So that's a conversation for itself, is that what they end up doing is they have their main roster, their A team, and then they bring in younger kids that are like 15, 16, and they bench them on their sister team, their B team, so they can get exposed to, well, this is how the league works. This is what it's like working with an organization. This is the expectations. So they have this kind of innate media training while they learn through osmosis. So when the time of 17 hits, if they are good enough, they can be pulled up to the main roster. And those academy leagues, I think, are really good for the health of... It reduces the amount of stress and pressure on a player because they're not playing in the main league. They don't have all that attention and notoriety brought in. Except for when they get through their debut. But it is a lot of pressure on a young kid to be under the scrutiny and under the eyes and the microscope of this community at that young age, when most of us were, you know, we were just going to school, we were playing sports, we were, you know, we were learning social things. Like it was a different time, man. So Rumble Truck, appreciate the follow, man. I don't know. I do think there's a lot of things, but like I was talking with Jeff, a lot of that I think falls on these agencies who are so bad, if I'm being honest. A lot of these agencies are terrible. And then on top of that, like, the organizations need to hold them accountable. They need to understand that when you have a young kid, you need to support that in a way that is intelligent. You know, you have to help develop these young kids into professionals. And it's quite the investment to do so. So, I don't know. Give us a story of bad orgs so we know what is happening to people. I mean, shit. Look at all the reports of people not getting paid or, you know, late payments or, you know, all that. Like, it's out there, man. Like, it's easier to tell you good organizations versus bad organizations. All right. We are going to try to do an aggregate. We always meme and leave it without T-Bates, but I haven't seen it as a list yet. Let us pull the top 25 from the guys. Johnny Bates, Daz, CJ, and Yemi, as always. These are always really interesting to look at. And I commend the guys putting these together all the time. Let me move these. I think these are correct. We took Johnny's list and put that on the side here. And then these should average out when we do it. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing here. Young age is here to stay, then they need to support. I mean, yeah, look at the snowman. Like, the snowman definitely needs support. But not many orgs are willing to put the time, money, effort into stuff like that. You know, it's expensive. How's the best way to get with you about business things? Just shoot me a DM, Twitter or otherwise. Yeah, Reaper, how you doing, man? How are things? Okay, so this should be up. I've got the lists. Let me move it over so you guys can see. Let's find an aggregate and see how these guys came together. We always joke with and without T-Bates, just because he always tends to be a little bit too biased. But ironically enough, his list will probably be good because he's full bore on G2 and G2-1. So the way, to my knowledge, the way that they do these lists is based upon how people performed. The difficulty: Johnny, Bates, CJ, Daz, Yummy. Okay, so they're in the same. They did them in the same order. Love it. Didn't mix it up. Good, man. Just been working. Hopefully going well, man. Forgot that little 13-year-olds can go pro in RL now. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, dude, I was 13. I was, what, in 8th grade? I can't imagine being in 8th grade and getting paid and trying to handle the shit that these... Dude, it's insane. Thanks, Mom. Me too. People make lists of good players based on how good they are. I mean, it's still an opinion base, based upon what I test and so on and so forth. You know, I personally rated Daniel very heavy. You know, I think Daniel should be up relatively high based upon his performance and what he did in order to push forward the results. You know, I think Daniel had a much bigger impact in that grand finals than people want to give him credit for. You know, so, you know, the weight that I have is going to be closer to Dazarin's than it is others. You know, I think, you know, TRK, even though Rawas and Clears are getting the MVP votes, I think Turk fucking killed it. So I agree with Johnny in there. You know, there's, you know, it varies a lot. So, you know, Itachi to me is top 3. Like, so far, I agree probably most with either Johnny's list, which seems to be pretty common. LJ, I can't have that high just because the results of the team itself, even though LJ did a very good job of getting them further in the tournament, you know, Worlds doesn't happen until September. A week from now, you have the Shift Summer League, which is a round robin tournament. And then you've got Esports World Cup, and then you've got Worlds, and then hopefully some off-season events. And then you have the FIFA E event as well later in the year, which is like a new Intel World Open. Who's on G2? BMO, Dan, and Atomic. All right, let's do this. How did I do it before? I think I just placed it here, right? So everybody has BMO at 1, right? TRK 2. 15. TRK at 15. What? 6. Who am I missing? 2. 15. CJ didn't have TRK on his list. What? What the fuck, CJ? Oh shit. This isn't accurate. Why do I have a gap here? Oh, that's why I changed it. Okay. I've got to do these differently because Johnny Adam 2, 13, 11, 4. Tachi. I'm glad everybody's rating Tachi high. He's so good. 3, 9, 2, 4, 3. Killer. I spell kill. It's 2 eyes. Is that it? There we go. Okay. Johnny has him at 4, 7, 3, 5, 2. 2 from Yummy, huh? That's crazy. This is 5 to 6. Most consistent for Zen. 11 from Yummy. Interesting. Eight, 9, 2, 5. And just tier kids. Oh, okay. Thank you. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. And 3, 4, 6. 10. Somebody's gonna be really close. 10, 5, 11, 13, 9. He has 8. I misread. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Tier K. Yeah, it's shifted down to. Need to duck outside later to wrap up. Have a good one. Hey, appreciate it, Rumble. Thanks for hanging, man. Hope you have a good day. Juicy. I'm glad to see Juicy stocks go up too. Juicy's been so fucking good. 11, 12, 12, 7. $14, 10, 15. First time in a long time that we've seen first drop as low as we have. Seiko. 13, 11, 7, 8, 12. $25, 13, and 14. Probably. I get tight, that would help. And Bates doesn't have them. Wow. 24, 24, 26. Pretty consistent for alpha. 20, 24, 23, 20. Cheeseman doesn't know. What's up, Cyber? How you doing, man? T-Bit says Oski at 10. Interesting. Okay. Like, Oski played well, but like everybody at 22 for Jack. Thieves. Got to see Thieve get some love. Thieve played well. For 16, 21, 16, 21. Okay, now we got to look at honorable mentions and see what names are in here that weren't. Tom, only 1 vote. Brad has 2 votes. Exotic got a decent amount of votes. Exotic's in 3, so right now Exotic's the honorable mention. What's up, Gushu? How you doing, man? We're doing an aggregate list of players from LAN. Johnny and the guys always put together a top 25, and we usually take the averages to see like what is the aggregate, and then we'll also do the same thing for teams based upon the placement of teams, where their players balance out. That's where we put them. So we'll take like out of this list, we'll then find, okay, which player, we'll take their 3 numbers together and put it together. So I think Exotic is probably going to be number 26. Trying to think if there's any other players. Fever, Brad. Boxer's already on 25. I think it's Exotic. Exotic gets your honorable mention. And he has a 26, 26, 19, 19, 20. Damn, he actually bumps out certain players. So, probably good that we put Exotic then. Okay. So, we now have to organize this by their numbers. Number 1, Beast Mode for sure. Number 2, 4.2. Tachi. And clears. Then it is Zen. And it is Daniel. Then Yan. And LJ. And then we've got TRK. And then we've got Rawas. And then Atomic. And then Seiko. Seiko is 2 O's, not 3. Not bad. And then Juicy and First Killer. 10. Then it gets crazy. I think it's a Lost. No, it is Monkey Moon. Then Lost. Yep. So Lost was at 16.2. And I think it's Alpha. And Jafino. I spelled Jafino right? No, NHO. Jafino at 19, and then 19.6, then 8. Yeah. So Oski. And then Drawley. Then apparently Jack. Then Exotic, that we included him. Then we've got some ties. 22, now it's 22.6, which is Chicago and Radosin are both tied. It's 22s, 22.6. Chronic at 23. Then Fever. No, I'm missing Hoxer. Hoxer's a 19.8. He should be right after Jafino. I miss Hoxer. Hoxer's gotta go. Yep. Right. That should be 26. 26, 26. So that's your aggregate. How's that list look to you guys? Bimo Itachi clears. Zen, Daniel, Bimo. Ian, LJ, TRK, Rawas, Atomic. I mean, you're talking, you know, obviously G2 is number 1. Based upon the 3 players, right? So we then do this and do the teams based upon performances. G2, Falcons, mates. Vitality, Syria, SSG, Genji. Already have Furia. BDS. Oxygen. Power. Here are these. And then we do G2. 1 for BMO, 5 for Daniel, and then Atomic is at 10. Falcons. 3. 8. 9. That's a pretty strong number 2. Mates. Itachi at 2. Juicy and Seiko. Juicy's 12. Seiko's 11. Vitality times 4. Alpha's 16. And Redosin is 24, technically 23. Furia hands at 6. Lost is 15. Jaffinho 17. They might actually bump up there. Good for you, Furia. Space Station, we are at... LJ is at 7. Oxford's 18. Chicago is 23. Genji might bump up here. We'll see. 13. 21. 55. Oof. Okay. BDS. Raleigh is 20. Exotic is 22. Oski is the only. I should do all teams. I think we kind of only need our top 8, right? We'll just do our top 8. G2. Falcons. Gentle Mates, Alpine. And Furia. And then Vitality. Space Station. 18 would be Team BDS. And then NG Mobile. Right? Does that look right? G2. Looks right, yeah. Or am I losing my mind? I think that's right. Oh. forget what. Hey, what's up, Avocado? How you doing, man? Chat, what do you guys think of their aggregate? Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it works daily. Aton, what's up, man? Appreciate the. What does HM mean? Honorable mention. HM is honorable mention. I mean, based upon results and stuff, you're talking like top fours and everything. LG's a great player, but there's no way he's better than Rawas. Based upon where Space Station ended up, I think LJ gets a lot of love due to his individual efforts. You gotta understand that, Bora, you're talking about this list is based upon individuals' performances at the major and the thought process. And like, let's call it what it was. LJ had a very big role in making sure that that team made it into the tournament where they did, right? So I think that's why he gets the love and attention that he does. Obviously, as a collective for the team, they're knocked down quite a bit. But these are your top four, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes perfect sense. Like it worked out, right? Like, this is your top four. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. It worked out perfectly. So again, everybody thinks that these are completely random and that there's no like thought brought into these, but I think most people when they make these will look at, like, if I was to make my list, the first thing I'm doing is I'm pulling up, if I don't break my, there we go. The first thing I'm doing is I'm pulling up this. I'm looking at this and I go, okay, based upon where players performed, who do I think did better or not? And I go from there. I go, okay, yep, Emo and Daniel and those guys played pretty well. And you start plugging in. It gets more and more muddy as you get down to the lowers. But 25 players isn't a lot. You know, it's only 8 teams. So that's what we've got. It's pretty accurate. Rank players is hard because the player's performance can be so much different depending on the team they're on. Oh, I agree. I think, again, Rocket League is the epitome of a team-based game nowadays. Like, the results and the performances and stuff are entirely dependent on... Excuse me. You're talking one player is 1/3 of a team. It's a massive difference what one player can do. Levance, appreciate the follow, man. So, yeah, I think it's difficult, man. I think the best part about this is, despite everybody having their own opinions on how people perform, the fact that the aggregate perfectly works out the top 4 and the results that they got is fantastic. Like, it's a good thing. So, I mean, Luke, that is part of it too. I mean, we've seen that before, though, Luke, where there's certain players or certain people that may not have had the results that they've looked for, and all of a sudden they go to a different team, and all of a sudden they have a breakout performance. You know, Chronic was a prime example of that. You know, him and 2Piece teamed together for so long and just could not find. What's crazy about all this, though, is there is no Rise, there is no there's no Atao, and there's no Vatira, right? So, you talk about how complicated this list is going to get coming Worlds. I think that'll be exciting. So, chat, with that in mind, we've been live for 3 hours. My voice is still kind of feeling it. I'm going to go edit and get some stuff done, take care of the pup. She was sick this morning, so she hasn't ate anything yet today, so we're going to see if we can get her to do stuff. But she's literally just been sleeping all day, so... shout outs to Jeff again. Very happy for Jeff to stop by and give us the conversation. We will have both the shift updates and roster stuff out tomorrow, and then we will have the conversation with Jeff out on Thursday, and we'll go from there. Depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow, we may or may not stream. I've got a meeting that I've got to take care of and stuff too. So I'm going to go rest the voice and get some water and hydrate. I appreciate you all coming and tuning in. Everybody's lurking and stuff. It's greatly appreciated. Appreciate you all hanging out and being part of the stream. As always, if you guys enjoy the content, hit up the socials. Go follow those. It's greatly appreciated. Feel free to join our Discord where a lot of these conversations take place. And we'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate all the follows, all the subs and resubs. We'll see you guys next time. Good to be home, but also miss the mountains and stuff. We'll see you.